Hi guys, welcome to Yin Yoga. Um, this one's going to focus on our second chakra, our sacral chakra. So there's a lot there probably right now for everyone. Sacral chakra represents our creativity. It's the energetic home of pleasure and sexuality and emotion and like I said, creativity. And it represents moving with the flow of life. So instead of fighting against things that are happening, just sort of flowing easily with what is going on and accepting. And so just kind of all those things that might be a little bit difficult right now. It's also very connected to root chakra. So we did that one last week. Root chakra, again, is safety, stability, home life, comfort. And those two things are very connected because when our root chakra is out of balance and we don't feel stable or safe, it's really hard to go with the flow of life. So think of the sacral chakra, the second chakra, as water. It's fluid, and we just ebb and flow and move fluidly with life. So try to just keep that in the back of your mind as we go through this practice. We're going to actually have a little bit of movement in this yin practice today. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. There's one posture that you will need a block for if you have a block. If you don't have a block, you can pause this and go get a couple pillows. We're going to do a supported bridge at the end. So you're just going to want a couple of the pillows below you to create some height for your hips. But other than that, yin is just a very cozy practice. So as you can see, I'm not in like normal yoga clothes. I'm just kind of in my sweats. You just want to be warm and comfortable and feel very safe and nurtured. So create whatever environment you need in order to do that. And let's go ahead and get started. So come to a comfortable seat. A lot of times when we sit in seated meditation for a little bit longer, as you start to do longer and longer stretches, it doesn't actually feel comfortable to have your legs crossed. Sometimes it's nice to just have one set in front of the other. When you cross your ankles and sit for a long time, one foot tends to fall asleep. So just find a comfortable seat. Closing your eyes. Hands landing wherever is comfortable for you, maybe on your knees. Starting to block out any external noise, whether it be actual noise that you can hear, or just the noise in your head. Starting to focus your attention inward on your breath. Starting to imagine a pinprick of light at your heart center. A brilliant, white, healing, love-filled light. Imagine that light expanding through your heart, through your chest, down through your belly. Imagine that light filling up your body, extending out through every extremity. Out through your arms, down to your hands, your fingers, up through the crown of your head, down through your legs, filling up your toes. And then imagine this beautiful, loving, warm, light energy extending down through your tailbone, down into the earth, passing through the layers of rock and soil, down all the way to the core of the earth, down to the center. Imagine these tendrils of energy, these roots of energy wrapping around the core of the earth, harnessing the earth's energy and drawing it back up towards you to support you, to nourish you. So imagine this energy from the earth rising up, traveling through all of the places where you are connected to the earth right now. So your sit bones, your legs, that energy coming up, supporting you, filling you. rising up through your body. Imagine the earth's energy rising up all the way through your body, coming up, traveling up into your head. And then imagine a flower bud on the crown of your head, opening and expanding, and that light, that loving energy streaming from the top of your head, coming up and expanding to connect with everything around you, up into the universe, connecting with everyone and everything and all of the planets and all of the stars and everything that is around us, connecting to that universal life force energy, the prana, the chi, everything that is all around us. And then imagine that energy swirling, gathering energy together, and then let it draw back down through the crown of your head, filling you, filling your body with this life force energy, light and love. And imagine that energy washing over you, cleansing away any negative thoughts, any energy, any vibration that is lower than love, lower than joy. Let it all wash away. So imagine these clouds of dark energy just washing away, washing off of your body, out of your body, soaking into the earth, letting the earth absorb all of that negative energy, taking it for you to repurpose, to transform into positive, loving energy. Just imagine that light-filled energy washing over you as you sit in silence, focusing on your breath. Just let the energy do its work. And you can start to blink your eyes open. And still in this seated meditation, we're just going to move a little bit. So maybe sway side to side. So awakening our sacral chakra, allowing it to flow with us. Good. And then maybe a few cat-cow motions in your upper body. So arching the back, leaning back, and then starting to press your chest forward, rocking your hips, just creating some really gentle flowing movement, maybe rolling around in circles in one direction, and then roll in the other direction. Good, and then coming to hands and knees. Just again, moving really fluidly, following your breath. So through some cat and cow. Inhale, dropping your belly low, look up, draw your shoulders back, shine your heart forward, maybe rocking forward and back. So really let your body guide you right now. There's no right or wrong to this. So just let your body kind of flow through any motions that feel good. So maybe rolling, again, these barrel rolls, all the way these big circles in one direction, and then switching direction. Maybe trying wiggling your hips. I kind of like to do this like snake motion. I do this a lot when I'm starting any practice, this kind of slithering snake, just warming up my spine, just feels good. And maybe starting to rock your hips forward into some sort of cobra shape. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to settle into a child's pose. So we're going to be here in all of these shapes for a couple minutes, depending on each shape. Some will be a little bit longer than others. So we're going to find our way to child's pose. Let your big toes touch behind you if that feels comfortable. Knees can be open out wide, and then start to sink your hips back, towards your heels. So you can take whatever variation of this feels comfortable for you. Maybe your hands are outstretched and your forehead lightly resting on the ground. Maybe taking your arms on the outsides of your legs. You can turn your head to one side. Also can use a pillow or a bolster here if that feels better for you. Another option is to take your arms in between your legs. So out, so your hands come out kind of by your feet. See if that is a new version of this shape that you want to try. So find whatever version feels right for you, and then allow yourself to sink into it. Maybe while you're in each of these shapes, imagine the swirling energy around your sacral chakra. Imagine you have pinwheels, one on the front side of your body, one on the back side of your body, connecting at that point just below your belly button, where your sacral chakra resides. So those pinwheels are flowing freely, circling in a clockwise direction, energy flowing through your body at this point, from the front to the back, allowing those channels of energy to feel free and open and clear. Starting to come out of your child's pose. We're gonna come up to hands and knees and then make our way to downward facing dog. So straightening your legs, lifting your hips up, and then just kind of like we did on our hands and knees and cat-cow, maybe just swaying your hips from side to side. You might bend one knee and then the other, slowly walking your dog. Letting your ankles crack if you're anything like me. Good, and then you might start some hip circles. So bending one knee, taking it around and out to the side, circling in one direction and then the other direction. And then switching legs, circling out, and then switching to circle in. Oh, good. And then just settling down for a couple breaths here. Oh, good. Start to float your right toes up. And then we're going to draw right knee to right wrist. We're moving into pigeon pose. So if you're familiar with this posture and you have a version of it that you like that feels good in your body, just go right there. No need to wait for me. If you're not so familiar with this posture, you're taking right knee to right wrist and then draping your shin across your mat. So you're gonna need to adjust for whatever feels good to you. So the more open your hips are, the more you'll be able to get your shin in line with the top edge of your mat. If this feels really uncomfortable to you, start to draw your heel closer in towards your body. So the angle might be more pointing back towards your body. You want to inch your left toes back and create some space here in between your hips. Again, you can use a pillow to lean on if you need to. If this feels really, really uncomfortable, you can always flip over onto your back and just take your shin across your chest that way, if this is too much pressure. So wherever you are, inhale, lift up your chest, and then to start to fold forward into sleeping pigeon. So your hands might become a pillow for you. You might be able to extend your arms out. There's so many options here. So you can play around with what feels good for just a second and then really allow yourself to sink and settle. Letting every exhale carry you a little bit lower to the ground. Noticing if there's any places where you're gripping, where your muscles are tense. Try to send your energy and your breath there. Allow for opening, for release, for surrender. Starting to use your hands to press your body up. We're going to switch sides here. So you can either swing your back leg around to the front and then swing your right leg back. I prefer to go through down dog. I don't know why, I just like it. And so I like to go back to down dog. Float my left toes up, left knee to left wrist, and then walking my right toes back to create some space, some opening. So adjusting however you need in this posture, maybe grabbing a pillow if you need it. So find your place. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward, settling right into stillness. Yin yoga is a very meditative practice. Such an awesome opportunity to just focus on your breath. Noticing any sensations that might arise in your body, and instead of reacting or backing away from those sensations, breathing into them, allowing yourself to flow with whatever comes up in your body. Using your breath to send opening energy to the places where you feel stuck or tight. Start to rise up, slowly, gently, coming out of this posture. We're going to take our right leg and swing it around to the front, extending straight in front of you. So right leg out straight. Left sole of your left foot is going to come to meet the inside of your thigh or your calf. So it's like a tree pose, just seated, Janu Shirshasana. So knees open out to the side. And then just start to walk your fingertips forward. So in a more active class, you might grasp your foot, drawing your chest down, but we really want this to be a release. So try if you can to just let go and sink. Your back can be rounded. Just let gravity do the work here. Let the earth's energy draw you closer to the ground. Again, noticing if there's anywhere where you're gripping or you're holding on. For me right now, I can feel my glutes and the very tops of my hamstrings trying to hold on and stay tight. So I'm going to focus on trying to release that. Maybe noticing how you have to adjust as your body sinks deeper, maybe walking your hands out further. Maybe noticing how your chest travels closer to your leg. The more exhales you release, the longer you stay in this posture, the more you allow yourself to melt. And then slowly starting to walk your hands back in, sitting up. Keep your left leg exactly where it is, that bent left leg. And you're gonna take your right foot and just swing it around towards your bum. So we're coming into deer posture. I wanna try to think about both sit bones staying on the ground. So both hip bones, we don't wanna be jacked up to one side. We want both sit bones sitting on the ground, and then you can adjust your feet however close or far away from your body as you like. You might start with both heels tucked in really close and then try to walk them out a little bit. See if you can get a little more open in this shape. Just see how that feels while still trying to keep both sit bones on the ground. And with a really tall spine, you're going to start to twist towards your left knee. So your right hand coming outside of your left knee. Your left hand can come back on the mat behind you, creating kind of a kickstand. You can stay here up in this vertical position, or you might start to come down onto your elbows. So you can use a pillow here if the ground feels like it's too far away. You might come down to your elbows outside of your left knee. If you want to go deeper, you can slide a pillow underneath your chest, maybe coming all the way down to the ground. But really still thinking about keeping this right hip down. So if when you come down, your right hip pops up, maybe stay a little bit higher. So for me, I'm going to try 2 pillows there. And then just sink and melt. Breathe through these postures. Even though we're focusing on our sacral chakra today, trying to unlock and open our excitement about life, our enjoyment and flow with life, our creative energy, our sexual energy, our passions and our emotions, allowing everything to flow freely. Allowing any emotion that comes up to just be felt. Feel everything. When we try to deny our emotions or lock them down, they get stuck in our bodies. And when they get stuck in our body, they turn into other things. The more that you can just feel and experience, and it doesn't mean getting swept away with your emotions. It just means acknowledging them, experiencing them, looking at them, examining them, saying, I see you, and then letting them float away. And start to come up. So we're going to bring our right foot back in front. Extend your left leg long, so finding Janu Shirshasana or seated tree pose on the other side. So left leg is straight out in front. Sole of your right foot meeting your left inner thigh. Right knee is open out. And then walking your hands forward. Again, let gravity do the work here. So trying not to pull, just release. On this side, I can feel my quad muscles trying to grip. So just do a scan of your body. See if there's any gripping, any clenching anywhere. Try to release. Part of releasing and opening the sacral chakra is releasing any judgment we might have about our own bodies. So this is a good time to practice the knowing that you are perfect. Maybe trying on a mantra or affirmation of, I love and enjoy my body without judgment. I love and enjoy my body without judgment. Starting to walk your hands in. We're going to find our deer pose on the other side. So keep your right leg exactly where it is. Left leg swings behind you. So again, you can start with your heels tucked in close to your body and then play with starting to draw them out, creating a little more opening there. Find what feels right to you. Again, trying to keep that left hip down. So both sits bones firmly on the ground. And then start to twist over to the right, taking your left hand at the outside of your right knee. Right hand can come behind you. I always get a really good hip pop on this side. So you can stay in this upright deer shape, or maybe you try coming down onto some pillows or to your elbows to the floor. Again, focusing on keeping that left hip down. So this side feels very different to me than the other side did. You probably will have that same experience. It might feel more open, more closed. Just noticing that difference without judgment. Starting to rise up again. Slowly pressing your way up. And extend both legs out in front of us. Coming into our caterpillar pose. So starting to walk your fingers forward again, releasing over straight legs. Again, just allowing gravity to do the work. You can let your arms dangle, your head dangle. No need to grip or pull. In this shape, the back side of our sacral chakra is very open. So on your lower back, your sacrum, this is a great place to imagine that gently swirling pinwheel on the back side of your body, opening, allowing energy to flow smoothly. Maybe again trying on a mantra or affirmation of, I release the need to control. I flow easily with life. I release the need to control. I flow easily with life. Start to gently roll up, slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to cross our ankles, rolling over crossed ankles. Come to a tabletop position. We're going to make our way to frog pose. Again, there are lots of different ways to do this one. It can be stressful on the knees, so really listen to your body. Don't do anything that feels really sharp or painful. If you feel sharp pain, back away from that. But if it's just resistance, if you just feel tension, sort of resisting, you want to just breathe into it. So from hands and knees, eventually we're going to try to have hips in line with knees, knees in line with ankles. But if this is too much for you, we're going to start to slide our knees apart. You can always keep your big toes together. It can be kind of like child's pose, but instead of shifting your hips back, they're going to stay up. So as we slide our knees out, you might keep your big toes together behind you, and then maybe you come down to your elbows. So again, up in line with your knees instead of shifting back. Now, again, listening to your own body. If it just is painful, if there's a sharp pain, don't go so far. Or maybe try shifting your hips a little bit forward or a little bit back. If you can, see, you can draw your feet out so that they are in line with your knees. You can come down to your elbows if that feels comfortable, or use pillows, whatever you need. Maybe my hips are pretty open, so I can get down kind of low, but you might be up here on your hands. We're not going to stay here for too long. So just trying to find your way to a version of this that you can breathe in for a minute here. Starting to come out of this posture. If you come down to your chest like me, you might start to take your arms underneath your body and then press up. The easiest way to come out is to go forward. So start to lean your body forward. Good. And then start to walk your legs together behind you. I'm going to scooch back on my mat a little bit. Just adjust yourself as you need to. So coming to on your stomach, we're going to make our way to Sphinx pose. So with legs together behind you, long on your mat, we're going to come up to our forearms and have our forearms parallel to each other. And then making sure that your shoulders are right over your elbows. Press your forearms and your hands into the mat. So you want to create an opening in your chest. So think about shining your heart forward. You're going to feel this in your lower back. So be careful to adjust as you need to. Don't overdo it. You can sink your belly a little bit down. So just pay attention to your lower back. Don't strain it. But try to keep your shoulders away from your ears. So pressing your shoulders down lengthening your spine and your neck. And then close your eyes. You can stay right here if you'd like to take this a little bit deeper. Take your hands out a little bit wider. And then start to straighten your arms, pressing up into seal pose. You can walk your hands in towards your body. That feels good. If it doesn't feel good, stay down in your Sphinx pose on your forearms. Notice any gripping again. For me, my glutes want to jump in on the action always. So I'm focusing on releasing the gripping that I feel there. And then releasing this posture, lowering all the way down to your belly. You can make a pillow with your hands. It might feel good to rock your hips from side to side. And then we're going to come up to hands and knees again. So pressing up your hands and knees, and then we're going to make our way to a seated position. So legs to the front of your mat. And then we're going to roll all the way down onto our back. Pull your knees into your chest. We're going to move into snail pose. So it's just like plow pose, if you're familiar with plow. But instead of trying to have a straight back, we're going to let everything round. So you can start by taking your feet up to the ceiling. Now, if taking your legs over your head is not possible for you, or if it's just too much, you can do a supine twist here, taking your knees off to the side, if you like, if this is too much. So, but if not, follow along with me. We're going to take our feet over our head and then just let your back round. So your toes might come to the ground behind your head. They might not. You can take your hands to your lower back if you need some support. You might keep your legs straight, or you might bend your knees, letting them fall to either side of your head. So your knees might come to close to your ears, touching there. Just let your back round. Be careful of your neck. So try not to roll onto your neck. Keep the pressure closer to your shoulder blades on your upper back. Use your hands for support if you need them. And slowly start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Letting your feet come all the way down to your mat. So we're going to move into our supported bridge pose from here. So if you have a block, you can use that, or pillows work just as well. So you can take the soles of your feet in close to your bum, knees pointing up, and then take the block and slide it underneath your sacrum. So you're going to have to adjust whatever feels comfortable for you. I personally like to go up a little bit higher. My hip flexors are tight, and I like to open up the front side of my body as much as I can. So I like to put the block on this stable, long edge to get up a little bit higher. But adjust as you can and be careful that you're stable. So find the place that can support your hips. And you can either keep your feet on the ground with knees pointing up, or you can start to straighten your legs, kind of like Shavasana, but with your hips lifted. Good. So in this posture, our sacral chakra is on display. It is the highest point in our bodies right now. So really use this time to envision in your head, just visualize that swirling energy right in that area below your belly button, your womb area. Allowing that to swirl and be free and open. I flow easily with life. Allowing it to open so your creativity can flow freely. Your sexuality can flow freely. Your passion and energy for life and love and creativity and all of the things that make this life worth living. Unlock that, open it up. Allow it to be free, flowing, and open. But if you've taken your legs out straight, and start to walk your feet back in towards your bum, pressing into your feet, lift up to remove the blocks or pillows. And then coming down for our final posture, Shavasana. Extending your legs long on the mat. If there's anything else that you feel like you need in order to close your practice, you can take that now. Otherwise, we're going to move right into our final resting posture, and I'll play the crystal sound bowls as you stay for these last few moments. So allow your arms to come down alongside your body, palms facing up. Allow your eyes to close. Relaxing every muscle in your body, allowing yourself to sink in. Feeling the energy of the earth coming up to support you through these last 2 minutes. Allow yourself to release and surrender. Take rest. Start to bring some gentle movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take your arms overhead for a long stretch. Good. And then drawing your knees into your chest, rolling over to the right side or the left. Gently using your hands to push yourself up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed. There's nothing to see, just find a comfortable seat. Take your hands, draw them to heart center. Take a moment to find gratitude. So maybe think of something or someone specific or a situation that you're grateful for. Just focus loving attention on that gratitude for just a moment. Good. And then for just a moment, focusing on your heart center, we're going to sit in about a minute of metta meditation, sending loving kindness out into the world. So especially right now in these unique circumstances, maybe floating your loving energy, surrounding all of our healthcare workers, all of the people working so hard to keep our society running, and grocery store workers and delivery drivers and everyone behind the scenes, making sure that we are all safe and taken care of. So sending loving kindness, warm, loving light energy out into the world for just a moment. Thank you. Take a deep inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, bow forward, sealing your practice. Inhale, rise back up. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for sharing this time and allowing me to lead you in this practice. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.